Good day everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now today, as the title of this video suggests, we are going to be talking about two very commonly used ships of very different sizes and purposes, and we're going to investigate a similarity that I found between them and some misconceptions or misinformation that has been passed down because people say different things about how this particular topic works, and I was even wrong for a while, so I tested it out and found the correct answer to correct myself. So if I told you the opposite of what you see in this video a few months back, well, not necessarily a few months back, maybe about a month or so ago, then I am wrong and I am sorry, but this is how it works after testing. And no one told me that I was wrong and then proved it to me. I decided that I'd try and prove myself right, and I proved myself wrong. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, just before we start, I do want to let you guys know that I do have content coming, mostly generated by some friends regarding flagships, like testing out their skills and stuff like that, primarily for anti-aircraft ones, so there will be more detailed videos coming out in the future. But for now, just some quick ones, because the previous quick one that I had about reading IDs did pretty well. So we're going to continue that. So now the XenoStinger. The XenoStinger doesn't target like normal ships do. It's got UAVs which follow kind of different rules. As far as I'm concerned, there's no obvious trends or anything off the top of my head until you actually dive deep. So if you want to know how other weapons targets and how normal ships targets, like if you're using guns or missiles or whatever like that, I do have a video on targeting which I will put in the description, and if I can figure out how, I'll put a card on screen for you. But the XenoStinger, it uses UAVs. It's got 4 of them and they shoot plasma or something like that, probably plasma because that's what it looks like, and it does a lot of damage. It's probably one of the highest, if not highest, DPM for the points that you can get, at least for frigates and other smaller ships. So its targeting, without the use of its strat, appears to start from the back, usually, and target stuff via ship weight. It does target the front row. Of course, it's got cannons which can't indirect fire, but its UAVs do, and they tend to target based off weight, and they don't really care what row. In this fleet that I tested against, I've got another fleet that I will show you in a sec. It's targeted the Carillions at the front, doing 10,000 damage, but it's also done 5,000 and 8,000 damage, or 8,500 to some ships in the back row. It is worth noting I did have no Mahilas in this fleet, which didn't get targeted by the Xenos at all. If we move on to the next fleet, you can see here that I've got aircraft carriers again in the form of the Cirrus, I've got Cirrus support, and I've got Carillions. And this time, the XenoStinger targeted all of the things that were in the back row and shot the Carillions at the front a lot less. So yes, once again going to weight, and they sort of just shoot whatever they want. Now what this means is if you're spamming them, or like you have a dockyard and you use 20-30 of them across multiple accounts, or people let you use them, they're going to target the same thing because they're targeting off weight. And I have heard people complain, oh, they all just target the same thing and therefore you're not killing many targets. And yes, it's because they're all targeting based off ship weight. So whatever ship is the highest priority in the hidden mechanics of ship weight, that's what will get shot down. So that's how that works, and maybe you would want to factor that into your ship creation, your fleet creation, if you're planning on using XenoStingers in more than 10. Trial 2, we pretty much get similar results, but I let them fight a little bit longer, so we got some different damage numbers slightly. We can still see that it did, well, it actually did less proportional damage to the Carillions at the front, and it ended up doing more damage over time to the AC and the XenoStinger at the back, but it still didn't target my Noma, and we got pretty much exactly the same style results as previously. We did some Xeno damage, but most of the back row damage went to the 2 types of Cirrus, and we got some damage on the Recons. Now we're going to move on to the XenoStinger and the Jaeger, because they have like effectively the same strat, which is they target carriers first. Now for a while I interpreted this, and I got this information secondhand as well, that carriers would be any ship that carries aircraft, and I will put the the two strats on screen for you right now. So as you can see here, we have the XenoStinger strategy and the Jaeger strategy. The XenoStinger strat is of course in its UAV system, and the Jaeger one is in its hangar. Now they're pretty much, or literally exactly the same. They have the same name, they have the same ability. When the enemy fleet includes carriers, it deploys aircraft/UAVs to attack these targets as a priority and reduces attack duration by 35%. So whatever's targeting it attacks faster. That means, you get more damage in a shorter period of time. Now, it's literally exactly the same, and that's why I chose to include both of them in this video. Now, this carriers in this situation is actually big ships, so Solar Whale, Marshall Crux, and the CV3K, or CV3000. So that's what that is talking about. So now I will show you the battle reports and see how it completely changes and rewires the targeting of the UAVs or the aircraft that these two ships are carrying. So now we're back here. You can see when I had the strategy on the Jaeger, I had the Nebula Chaser. Now it only targeted the carrier present, as you can see. I had destroyers and cruisers present in this fleet, and it did not target any of those, and even though that they were carrying aircraft, it only targeted the CV3000. With the XenoStinger, we can see it did a little bit of damage to the Carillions, but that's because it has cannons that cannot target the carrier because there's a front row present. And also, this strategy only affects the UAVs. So yes, we can see that it didn't target any of the other ships that were present like it had been before. It only targeted the carrier. Now I left the strategies on, and I removed the carriers for the next test, and we can see that it did not follow both the Nebula Chaser and the XenoStinger did not use their normal targeting. It's been pretty much completely wiped clean. They will target carriers, and then they'll just target whatever's first. So if you have this strategy present on your Jaeger or your XenoStinger, and your enemy isn't using a Marshall Crux, a CV3000, or a Solar Whale, whatever you're carrying is almost guaranteed to just attack the front row and then move back and then move back. Essentially, you're getting more indirect fire. However, if they do have one of these, all of your XenoStingers and all of the aircraft affected by this strategy are going to target that aircraft first, or that carrier, which has its ups and downs. If you want me to go into that in detail, let me know in the comments and I'll make a video on how you can utilize these in particular, but that's how that works. So yeah, that's how the XenoStinger and the Jaeger's strategies work. They pretty much completely rewire your targeting. They will attack carriers, and then they'll just attack whatever they can see first. Whereas the XenoStinger, without that, it just attacks based off weight. Ship weight, whatever weighs the most, or there is like percentages and like weird R&D and stuff involved in ship weight and targeting like that and stuff like that. That's why it's not just the ship with the definitive highest weight. Also, sometimes they have the same, and then it's just RNG and stuff like that determines. So yes, that is how the XenoStinger and the Jaeger work. If you want more detail, please let me know. I'm happy to go into more detail on how you can utilize these particular abilities in a fleet, their pros and cons, etc., etc. But I want to keep this video nice and short for you guys. If you enjoyed and found this helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Do whatever you want. Any support is massively appreciated. If you have any suggestions, please let me know, and I will see you next time. Oh, don't forget to join Discord. I've got 2 Discord servers that you can join. I've got mine, and then I've got another community one with all kinds of awesome guys, and you can get your own categories and stuff like that if you make your own content, or you want to find new content, or you just want to hang out with people. Everyone's welcome, and there's already tons of awesome people there. So hopefully I'll see you guys there, or I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya!